Yeah.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Bullets, Barbells, and Barbecue. I'm your host, Brett. I have Matt here and Tanner the Head.
You're so good at that.
We did one a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and it was rough. By the time I left, I was like, we can't do that again.
Oh, he got drunk.
Yeah, I got drunk.
What, the one I missed, you were wasted?
Yeah, well, I had, sometimes I open the can before the show starts, and I'm like, fuck. And so I got to put a new one in there that's unopened.
So he had beer, whiskey, beer.
And then we did another show,
Yeah.
and I did the same thing. I put one in there, and then I opened it. I was like, fuck. And then so to stay true, I had to put a full one in there so I could open it.
So you had beer, whiskey, beer, whiskey, beer.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And now I have a Fireball chiller. If no one has a Fireball
Oh,
chiller,
man, it's
you need to
fucking-
get your
it's
life
great.
together because it is fucking amazing.
Fuck Fireball. No, it's one of those
People
things.
who don't like Fireball are communists. They also like bad breath because it's just like chewing Big Red.
Oh, man. It's just, if you
Does
have
it not just taste like
What
Big
was
Red?
the-
if you have a bad Fireball experience, though,
talking
like
about
you
Hot
never
Damn?
want it again.
Yeah, hot damn.
Oh, yeah.
Hot
Yo,
Damn is
hot
different.
damn. Why?
Yeah. I don't think it tastes the same as Fireball. Fireball is magical.
Or Jackfire.
That Fireball chiller keeps it coming out. There's frost inside of that thing. It comes out at like 35 degrees. It
Yeah,
is
but you
fun.
reduce the temperature of a lot of alcohol, and it's better.
Yeah, but that Fireball was good.
Yeah, it is good.
It's a nice
the keg,
little
the little keg dispenser was kind of weird.
Yeah, don't ever buy the Fireball keg. It, like how it sits in there is weird. It tastes weird.
It's like gets all the syrup at the bottom, and so that your first few pours are like real syrupy and sweet.
And then
it
you're done.
And then it's like cinnamon, just straight cinnamon on your face.
Which, if you ever had just cinnamon, is disgusting.
It's terrible. Isn't that like one of those
Tigers don't like cinnamon. I thought everybody knew that. Is that on The Hangover? Is that on The Hangover where they're trying to get Mike Tyson's tiger out of the room and they're like, cinnamon, tigers hate cinnamon. You didn't know that?
Fucking Hangover.
Maybe.
I was somewhere and it was just like on, like in the background. I'm like, oh, that's a great movie. I forgot how awesome
Yeah,
that was.
That was one of the
Tigers
best
hate cinnamon.
surprise funny movies.
Yeah.
That and Meet the Millers.
Yeah.
Where like
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't have huge expectations, and I saw it and I was like, all right, that was totally
pretty
worth it.
funny.
Yeah, that was worth it.
Yeah, not you, fat Jesus.
Yeah, but if you ever have just like cinnamon, it's disgusting. Cinnamon needs sweetness. Like you can't just have cinnamon.
It's like me, just sweet.
Bullshit.
Yep.
I think I heard you were an asshole about 17 times yesterday.
Oh, really?
They were all for one person though.
That's right. There were
She happens to live with you.
there were reasons. It's all right.
It's fine.
It was a stressful day in the
Fine.
beginning.
Yeah.
We hosted a Strongman yesterday, the QRF Strongman. But in the weekend review, I almost pooped my pants this week.
Did you?
Yeah. I was just finishing up with the client though, so it was all right. It was a fart that I could feel was not. I had to walk to the bathroom.
Quickly.
No, I couldn't walk quickly.
Oh. Did Penguin walked over there?
Yeah. Have you seen that meme where it's like I have a 2-inch grip on an 8-inch turd? I had like a negative grip. Like, yeah. Yeah, that was.
So if you squeeze too hard, you're going to pinch it off in your underwear or what?
I think it was probably close to touching. What's that old touching cotton? And I gave you that mayo yesterday on that chicken sandwich.
Right.
Yeah, I was like touching cotton. It went down and went touched and came right back up.
Playing whack-a-mole back there.
Yeah, it's like that where you used to spit that loogie and go as far as you could, then suck it back up. Was that on Big Daddy where he does it and almost gets to the ground or whatever?
That is just a gross, that's just a gross guy thing that probably every guy's done, but no one ever wants to say they ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we hosted the QRF Strongman yesterday, which QRF stands for.
Quality Resilience Fitness.
Yes, John Erickson from here at the gym is part of their nonprofit, and they raise money for veterans with mainly like gym memberships right now, and they're trying to get into more stuff, get them into gyms, and help with mental,
Yeah, the whole thing is just to help with, veteran suicide.
which is a good cause.
Yeah. John's a vet. John
is a Marine vet, yep.
Yep.
And he's also a firefighter down in Arizona, I believe, when he lived down there. And he won Nebraska Strongest
Yep.
in the open class. He didn't do masters like you, right? So he actually was strong.
Yeah, I won Masters, Nebraska Strongest.
Yeah, so I think if Matt, if you were going to rate that, who do you think would be stronger then?
John. Yeah.
Okay.
Compete to open this.
Maybe John and I will just have a lift off here.
Okay. You guys almost did yesterday trying to move those fucking sandbags around.
Oh my God. I did not realize how much exercise I was going to get yesterday. Fucking me and Bueno. Thank God Bueno was here.
No shit.
Bueno was pushing the sled and I was pulling it. I did the first couple by myself. I'm like, this is stupid. Got to do a 40-foot sled drag every time one of these guys competes this event.
Yeah, it was. I thought it went pretty well. We got here early. Matt and I got here early because we did some smoking.
Man, your food was so good.
We did the old Snake River Farms Wagyu brisket. We did some ribs, the old Costco ribs, which are solid spare ribs if anybody's looking for any.
St. Louis style, right?
Yep.
St. Louis, yep.
I generally go with those because it's just easier.
So
They're
remember,
meaty.
and so for those out there, St. Louis versus a regular spare, St. Louis are already pretty well trimmed.
Yeah, they trim off. I can't remember what the bone is, but there's a big bone that runs across the top and a bunch of like cartilage bullshit.
It's the same rib. The spare is, if it just says spare, it's not actually trimmed.
Yeah,
St. Louis is already trimmed for everybody out there.
And you
that
can do a spare rib, and you can like there's still a lot of meat on that top that gets trimmed off. So if you want, you can do it and like take out the chunks and grind it or do whatever you want with it. But I was like, nah,
It's less work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't throw it away, but I already trim a lot from even a St. Louis to like clean up the edges and get rid of kind of like the small cartilagey edge.
But Costco does a good job. They're good, meaty, thick ribs.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I'm a pretty big Snake River Farms fan, but their pork ribs are poop.
Yeah.
Pork ribs.
You said they were not good.
They're not. Their beef is like unbeatable though. Like, man, if you want briskets, beef ribs, any of that stuff,
Well, we
hamburger.
got confirmation from like a real barbecue guy who was like, yeah, beef, cool. Ribs, no.
Yeah, even their Wagyu hot dogs are amazing.
So good. 48 grams of fat, 1 gram of protein.
Dude, one wiener-
4,000 grams of
One
salt.
wiener is like 250 calories though.
Yeah.
So, and then we had some pork belly burn ends that Matt did, and then we had some chicken thighs.
Chicken.
I took those home and Thomas was freaking loving the freaking burn ends.
Did he shit his life away?
He he was still asleep when I left this morning, but he may be shitting this morning. I'm not sure.
If you decide to make pork belly burn ends and you go to
Share
Costco, they have an entire pork belly. Don't try to eat the entire thing.
Like 9 to 12 pounds.
You will just be pooping for like the next fucking like 2 days.
But if you have not pooped,
Oh yeah,
good way to get
if
things
you're
moving.
trying to grease something up, dude. If you have to go in for like a physical and get blood work done, do not eat one of those.
Oh, Jesus, no.
your cholesterol is a little high. Oh, sorry, I had a pork belly yesterday.
Yeah,
Oops, your triglycerides are all of your blood.
yeah. We did chicken thighs marinated in W sauce, the Fireshire. We cooked all those here. The brisket I did overnight. Everything else we cooked here.
So the Fireshire is a spicy one, but it's
got just a little bit of heat
It has
to
the
it.
perfect amount of spice, like
Agreed.
especially with that Duke's mayo.
Duke's Mayo. If you've
yeah.
never had Duke's Mayo, get your life together.
I mean, literally, you had just regular white buns, Duke's mayo, and a freaking Fireshire chicken thigh, and that thing was.
And it's got a little Meat Church Voodoo seasoning on it.
Yep.
That we put on right when you put it on the smoker.
Voodoo and the Fireshire, like both of those, I don't like spice. Like I am standard issue white. So like I do not
Salt-
like spicy.
salt, you're good?
Yeah, salt. I'm like, ooh, too much. Actually, I love salt.
Ketchup's too spicy.
But black pepper, I'm like, oh no. But like both of those have enough heat that I could eat a meal with that in it and be okay.
Man, it was like the perfect level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super easy if anybody wants to do. And talk about not like, I shouldn't even say I smoke the chicken. You cook them. I cook them on a Traeger, but it's like 400 degrees.
Yeah.
But
Actually, you know what's on the menu for Monday? Those chicken thighs.
did you go get some W sauce?
No, today after I leave here, I'm going to get some. Yep.
Yeah, they have it at Shields and Helping You Barbecue has it here. Helping You Barbecue is some local guys.
Yeah.
They run a good spot.
I'm going to go there because Sunday at Shields is a fucking disaster.
And they should have it because after Matt and I were there talking about it, they ordered it.
Yeah.
But dude, their their Worcestershire, who's your sister sauce? I think the W sauce is better. It's like thicker or something. It's a better Worcestershire sauce.
It's more than just the horse sauce.
Yeah. It was the best of shires. It was the worst of shires. But no, W sauce is great. If you haven't had theirs, try it. And then what I do is if it's, and I did not invent this recipe. I got it from Matt Pittman, Meat Church. I think it was like he had eight thighs, and I think he did a bottle for 8 thighs. I did a little more than that. I think I had like 12 or 15.
So if you go to
in a bag.
Costco, a pack of the chicken thighs is roughly a pound.
Yeah, they're individual
So,
packs. So I did 5 of those in 2 bags and used 2.5 bottles of the W sauce.
It's about half a bottle a pound.
Basically, yeah. Yep. And then I had, so I shot in there, and then I let them sit. It wasn't 24 hours. I put them in at like probably 8 o'clock the night before.
Okay.
And
Well, I know that I took one, and I said I took a bite, and I said I'll have another.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Matt didn't even get to really eat anything. We got a quick sampler on the brisket, a little piece of chicken. I had one rib.
Yep.
And a little bit of pork belly.
yeah, you get all nervous though on meat day and cooking and stuff. You're probably just gonna shit your pants if you ate.
Yeah,
I did that night. Well, I didn't shit my pants, but I had a poop that I had to shower after.
But man, and the weather could have been better for the cooking and well,
Right.
it was a little chilly in the beginning. That little Traeger I have doesn't like to keep temperature.
Yeah.
I have the little tabletop one.
But like it worked out. It worked out pretty well. Like the roasters kept the brisket like a
yeah,
pretty good
we used a
temperature.
roaster, which I've never heard a barbecue guy talk about this, but we used a roaster to hold the brisket for a couple hours or another hour.
Yeah.
It worked really well.
Held it in like the mid 150s.
Had it wrapped in a towel because I
Yeah.
took that brisket off at like 6 a.m. and we started slicing it at 11:30.
Yeah. So yeah, we started aside from the brisket cooking overnight, ribs, chicken, pork belly, all of that started cooking around between 7:30 and 8. And then we were able to mess around with it, and pretty much everything got done right about the 11:30 mark. Like it all didn't go on at the same time.
Yeah, we kind of timed
But-
it out as best we could. Like
But
we
it
got down.
actually worked out really well. Like
You guys timed it really well.
I was concerned because like the ribs, like sometimes I'll start with like a 5-hour rib recipe and they get done in like 3.5 hours, or I'm planning on 4 and they get done in like 5 hours. And I don't know, I'm still figuring out the timing on that shit. But
I think ribs are tough because I think it's all the tendon and everything in there or whatever.
it's like sometimes you get these really thick pieces. So what I've finally started doing is if I'm doing a bunch of ribs, like I'll actually pay attention to each rib and be like, oh yeah, this rack's done. Because there were some that I took off probably 20 minutes before the others. But before I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to check this one. And when this one's done,
then they're all done.
then they're all done, right? Yeah, just completely disregarding the fact that like they're all
Kind of like what I
sizes.
do with chicken. Like I put it in the biggest piece, and then when that one's done, they're all done.
Yeah, they're all done, yeah.
But you know what's weird though? Like on some of those cookers, you get weird spots because like I was out there probing all of them because obviously people are eating them.
Yeah.
On 165, but thighs. I mean thighs you can take to you can have almost 200.
Yeah. But I think in the big that's the Traeger XL, right?
Yeah, they don't
Is that what
make
it's
it
called?
anymore.
Yeah.
It's the old original XL.
But
yeah.
I think the outer edge was cooler than the inner because on that vertical rack that we had in there, everything on the inside as you worked your way out got less done. But it wasn't like you had all the thick stuff on the outside and the thin stuff.
Well,
on
we
the
just
inside.
figured out how to figure out where your hot spots are.
Yeah,
right?
we just need a fucking bunch of
we just
buns.
need some fucking
The
biscuits.
biscuits.
Yeah, let's get biscuits.
Buttermilk biscuits.
So we need to go get one of those like big cans of like country gravy and biscuits, and we'll just put them on there when they're like.
Then just dip them in the gravy and eat them like a fucking fat kid.
Yeah, and just shovel it in our face.
I'll have Nicole make some country gravy, so you're not just fucking getting canned country gravy, you fucking Neanderthal.
Yeah, it was good though.
Let me crack my can of gravy open.
Hey man, I used to eat SpaghettiOs out of the can. Okay.
Did you like put it on the gas, like the
No, I
gas
just ate
range?
it cold out of the can.
You are a monster.
This one I used to go to my.
God.
Kind of got babysat by this lady that worked for my mom, and I'd go in her like I just hang out with her son who was a few years older than me.
That sounds like a subtitle for like a Pornhub.
Yeah. I kind of got babysat and kind of got.
Yeah, it wasn't like a
And
strict
plowed my neighbor.
I was basically there hanging out with her son, and I would always like bring like some whatever side SpaghettiOs, and I spilled them on her white couch, and I was like, just flip the cushion over.
Yes.
Who the fuck has a white couch?
Well, it was like a cream kind of colored couch, but then I also spilled some on like a white rug they had, so it was really.
Don't
They
eat,
shouldn't have kids.
don't fucking eat in the living room, Brett.
Yeah, it was.
They have tables.
Yeah.
I used to eat the
Or the
fucking.
TV stands.
I used to eat the Chef
trays.
Boyardee ravioli right out of the can too.
Oh, you're fucking gross.
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, that's...
Oh, well, sorry. Well,
That's disgusting.
anyway, so we got the food done.
Brett's disgusting.
We got the food
Yeah.
done, and then we were slicing them on our fucking awesome Rosewood Block brisketeers, which go to
Tons of comments on
rosewoodblock.com.
those.
And I have mine. It's actually ordered. She
Yes.
Yeah.
had a little issue. She called me back. Super nice.
And they said, "You sure you don't want your wife's maiden name because she owns the pickup?"
I told Nicole about that, and she was like, "There's so mean to you." I was like, "It's pretty much just what happens."
You know, when Mike moved away, you really had to step into a hard spot.
Yeah.
But no, we cut them on the. We did get a ton of compliments on the Rosewood blocks we were using. Obviously, check them out, rosewoodblock.com.
Yep.
Use B3 at checkout for a 10% discount. Right now, I said their holiday orders are probably closed right now, but
Yeah.
they're trying to catch up. But yeah, we got tons of compliments when we were slicing on the boards, and I think we went through majority of the food within an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And we were down to a couple racks of ribs, which you made 9, which is some good amount of ribs, and maybe 12 or 13 burn ends left over.
No. Oh, the total. Yeah.
Total,
it was
yeah.
like 2 little foil packs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that was pretty solid for.
Yeah. It was.
I didn't realize standing so long, but my back hurt.
Yeah. Right.
Being so jacked makes your back hurt.
Yeah.
You are the epitome of health.
I got home and I like sat on the couch for a little bit, and then we had to go to a birthday party. I was like, oh, my fucking body hurts, dude. We basically stood from like, I sat in that chair for a little bit up front, and that was about the only time we sat from about 6 or 7 o'clock until I got home that afternoon.
Yeah, otherwise we were just touching meat.
Yeah, just handling meat and stuff on the barbecue. But yeah, it was a barbecue event with a strongman hanging out. So yeah, the strongman I thought went pretty well.
Strongman does go well. It did go well.
It went pretty well. I think there's a lot of things learned.
Yeah. I ended up kind of being, I guess, head judge. But
I judged everybody there. I just didn't know.
All day.
Yeah.
Just didn't give out
Matt
scores.
kept telling me how good I was doing. He high-fived me a lot.
Yeah, he was the best implement resetter we had.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone helped out. It was great because around here, it's like Eric and Bueno helped out. Freaking everyone just kind of hopped in and did what needed to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended up going good. Here's the thing I love about Strongman. Strongman's not there's nothing that's set, right? So there's like 5 set events. Like powerlifting, you have 3 set events. Everyone is very, in my opinion, they get really fucking worked up about dumb shit in powerlifting. Like if
Whoa.
No, I
Like
agree.
what?
like if anything's off, like they're very particular. Like I feel like powerlifters are very particular about everything.
And it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. Like these people who are like, I have to use a combo rack. I have to use kilo plates. No, you don't.
The only thing
I always said train with like, which lucky we have great equipment here at Omaha Barbell, the Midwest Mecca.
The real.
Yeah, the real. Train with like non-competition stuff because I feel like when you go to a meet, it's easier then because it's better equipment. You know what I mean?
Or just train with whatever the fuck's there.
Well, like here's my thing with the combo racks, and everybody's listening. People want to wait for a combo rack, or they'll go somewhere for a combo rack, and that's great. We have two. I would love to get a third one even, but if you don't have
don't want more of those lifters here.
Yes, we want a bunch of strong people here.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, we like having the strong people here.
Spoke.
Yes.
Yeah, my fault.
But if you don't have to move the uprights at all, you can squat a monolift or another rack. That's the thing too I don't get. Like you can squat anywhere if you don't have to, like some of us who are a little bit more, svelte. No, but as you get a little wider, like especially your shoulders, but like squatting in a power rack is not comfortable.
No.
For people of some different sizes.
No.
So, but if you can fit inside your hands inside the racks, you can squat anywhere. It's all the same.
The one thing I'll say for the ER rack is like we have mono racks, so like we have monoliths. Why do we still have ER racks? Just saying.
So here's the thing: is I've thought of it for long. I've actually thought for a long time why they don't use monoliths because they were safer because you don't have to walk it out. But it is expensive for a piece of equipment that is literally for one lift. For the price of a monolift, you can buy a combo rack and you can bench and deadlift or bench and squat out of it.
No.
So my whole point was that strongmen understand that it's not universal.
Because you're Neanderthals.
Yeah, we're a bunch of cavemen. So it's nice when you show up and like something changes a little bit and no one gets pissed. And that's the one thing I wanted to do yesterday is just communicate because as a lifter in a strongman, and I've done
Masters.
I have done open too, Dick.
How'd you do in the open?
I have a third, a second, and I think a first in an open.
How many firsts do you have at Masters?
A lot.
Yeah, I bet you do. It's me and you, Artie, you 60-year-old fuck.
There's a lot of
But
master strongmen.
Artie's also like, I fucking got second, dude.
Yeah. How many were there? 2.
Yeah.
None of your business.
That was actually one of the beats I was going to go to. Is like there were only 2 people. I was like, I'm not going. Like, here's the thing: even if I have a great meet and I hit everything I want and I win, the next question from one of YouTube asked, well, how many people are there? 2.
A guy used to did jujitsu, and the place he did it out of here in Omaha, the jujitsu is about like a lineage thing, right? And so the guy they're under is this guy Rodrigo out of St. Louis, which a lot of people are. John Hanson was on here. He's under Team Vaghi. And I remember the guy I was training, he was a heavyweight guy, and he was like, Rodrigo's like, how'd you do? He's like, I got second. He's like, Jetty, how many were in your group? He's like, he's like, you got last.
Yeah. So when you go to a small meet, it is always tough. Yeah. But yeah, typically there are quite a few masters people because there's a lot of old people, and it's not that we aren't strong; it's that we don't recover very well.
Okay.
So by the fifth event, we're all sitting there feeling like shit, except these young guys are fucking drinking beers and going to do their fifth event.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah, all the competitors were good. Like some of the weights had to change, some of the implements had to change.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of rules change, but my point is like just communicate.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, especially at Strongman, because shit does change. Just communicate the change, communicate times, communicate warm-ups, let everyone know what's happening.
Right. Like you accommodated. Like I saw there were some times like, you know, you're doing the deadlift and it was going up and it's like, hey, who wants 640? And the guy's like, I'll take it. And I'm like, well, you just win at 610. So we're going to give you a couple minutes.
Yeah. And then I would just tell them, you got 2 minutes to platform. When you're on platform, you have a minute.
Yeah.
But I just communicate that to everybody.
Yeah.
And then I just try to keep it the same for everybody. So everyone has.
You know, I like the idea of, like in my mind, when I think of like the stuff that I really enjoyed, it's probably because I was younger and growing up watching the Strongman, was like when they had the oddball events and like this stuff. And it was just like, hey, there's going to be 5 events.
Yep.
Generally, this is what they're going to be.
Right.
And so I like the idea of the flexibility of being like, hey, so you have a 300-ish pound stone.
Right.
Like that's what you have today. So, I mean, if you get 1 or you get 5 or whatever, like, okay,
you're all
cool.
at the same one.
Yeah. At least you're all doing the same.
It could be 290, it could be 320.
Right. Or we could sneak out a 395. That's 300 pound
something. Yeah.
It's
it
not
had
400.
the 3 in it.
Yeah. And stuff, but you can do that. And I think that's a really cool, like, test of strength. It's like, hey, here's the general function that we're testing here.
Yeah.
Right. Can you pick up a big round heavy object, put it over something?
Yeah,
Cool.
the events were really good yesterday. I mean, you had starting off, you had a deadlift, which is always hard to start off with. It's a good one to start off with because you want to feel good doing your deadlift. But there's a reason it's last in a powerlifting meet is because it's the one you can grind through.
Yeah.
You know, but it's also the one that's going to wipe your ass out.
Right.
So,
yeah. If you blow your load on that one, then you're kind of like, fuck.
Yeah. Like I had, can't remember what competition. Oh, I was at a competition with Mike. We're over in Iowa, and I passed out deadlifting. I thought I had 9 reps on an axle deadlift. I can't remember what the weight was. Like, it was around 500 somewhere, and I had 13, and I like completely went out on 14, and Mike had to save me because I was strapped in.
Right.
Like with the figure 8 straps, and I started going backwards, and there was no one there. So Mike had to like put his hand on my back. You know your like band holders that you have out here. Mm-hmm. I bent the shit out of theirs. Like they were going straight backwards. Yeah, it was bad. But then the next event, like my head wasn't right for an hour. Like
I'm just depleted it of oxygen.
Yeah, I'm fucking taking sodium tabs, fucking eating sugar. Like I'm like my head is just off. Like it's just gone. So starting with the deadlift, but they started with the deadlift, had a cool little press medley with a drag, sandbag throw, which is always fun. Did he live out here?
It's in
Maybe.
we'll
talk later.
The over bar thing.
Okay, yeah, that was always fun. Throwing that, and then a yoke and sandbag. That sandbag was pretty brutal.
That big one?
That big one looked pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I had to move it.
Yeah.
I pushed it on the ground.
I saw.
He hit his head twice doing it because it's
did.
big. I was looking up old people on the internet,
Yeah.
and Ed was 38 when he won the Mountaineer Cup in the open division.
So not 40.
He was 38 and he still won the Mountaineer Cup.
But what did he do when he was 40?
I don't know. He squatted 600 with like a fucking fake hip.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Masters is
old
40.
people can still be strong.
Masters is 40.
I'm just saying, old people.
It's not about strength. I'm telling you, it's about recovery.
Did he just say old people?
Here's the one thing
I said they're still strong. I said we don't recover the same.
He recovered enough to win the Mountaineer Cup.
The thing that I'm still trying to wrap my head around is like the axle deadlift with straps.
Yep.
It is the same as a stiff bar deadlift.
Why?
It is. It's a stiff bar.
Why not just use a stiff
It just
bar?
doesn't bend. I don't know. It's Strongman.
I said it was the same, and somebody said it wasn't. And like Matt and I were talking, I go, isn't it? It's the same.
Especially with those
I
figure
will-
eight straps.
It's figure eights, yeah. Because if you're using a real strap, like a real wrist strap, like to go around it, obviously is going to change. But when you're using figure eights and you're like locked in there,
It is different. It is different than like not being able to get your hand all the way around the bar changes a lot, even with straps. You want to go do it real quick? I have my
But
figure.
if you have figure eights, though, they're really holding it for you. Like, if I use straps, I don't put my hand around the bar anyway. I just like gorilla grip it.
Well, that's one of the things that we watch for is that so people can't fingertip grip it. They have to have their hand all the way around.
But I have better grip than you do on everything we've ever done.
You
so
do.
my technique, you should do that.
Therefore, what I say is more accurate.
Actually, I think Matt's got better grip than I do. Even so.
You only have grip in right hand.
What else do I need it for?
Well, apparently you enjoy your right hand.
I don't think that's true. I think it's the same.
Your grip in your left hand is
No. I'm talking about a stiff bar versus a fat bar. Like an axle and a stiff bar. I think I think
Either
what
way.
you should have done is you guys should have done a double overhand axle, no straps.
Yeah, but that's just
That's how you find out who men are.
But that's also not. It's fun
And then
to
you
watch.
carry tractor tire weights.
Or some torpedo weights for 400 yards.
Oh yeah, I watched Matt. do
Oh,
that.
I
man
will say
shit.
though, we did have quite a few people that were very scared here yesterday. Because
Why?
Why? Because when they were warming up, they went back there and saw the bars, and they saw the fucking chrome fucking fat bar
Oh,
back
the
there.
3-inch bar.
Yeah, and they're like, I had a couple people like, "Are we using that?" I'm
Yeah.
like,
See,
Yeah.
that's another men's bar.
Dude, yeah.
If you can deadlift 400 with a fucking axle bar, that is impressive. Double overhand, no straps.
It is.
I think that's pretty impressive.
All right, Matt. We're videoing this afterwards.
A double overhand on a 2-inch bar.
I don't think so.
There's no knurling on that bar either.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't think that's impressive?
No, I don't think I can do it.
Oh, that's it.
I was
said it
trying to. I was
impressive.
trying to like.
Oh.
I thought you
determine
were,
if I
I
could
thought you
do
were
it.
debating with the impressiveness of
No,
it. I'm
no,
like,
no,
get
very
your fucking ass
impressive.
back.
I've only. What did we do that one day? Because Matt and I were doing double overhands for as high as we could. And what do you get, like 455?
No, we beat Rob because Rob did 5 something and we went up. At least I got like 515 just so I could beat him. And it
I don't know
blew
if
my
I got
fingertips out. Though, like it tore the flesh off the end of my finger to do it.
I don't think I did. When
Was
you
that
and
a
I did
neural
that day,
bar?
I didn't go that high. I don't
because I
think.
remember because we did it because we saw Rob do it and he was like, "Oh, look at this, barely made it." I'm like, "Motherfucker, you barely got. You didn't get 500."
Dude, that one that came out of my hands though, my fucking pecs hurt because your arm must shoot forward, and then the beds of my fingernails all
Yeah.
hurt super bad.
Was that the standard bar, knurled bar?
Yeah,
It was a deadlift bar.
Yeah, it was a deadlift bar.
Yeah.
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 But I just did last time Mike was here. He, to his credit, he did set a deadlift PR, something in the adult weight range. I don't remember
275?
what it was. Yeah, something. And then but he's got like straps and he's getting all jacked up with his nose torque. And I did, I think 495 double overhand for a single. But I was just like, okay, Mike, let me know when you want to play in the adult league.
Do you hook grip or no hook grip?
No.
I can't hook grip.
can't.
I can only hook grip with my.
I can't
with
hook
my
grip. I'm a
left hand.
pussy. Hurts my thumbs.
It does hurt.
a-
Oh yeah. So the grip thing. So out in the home office for the company that I work at, it's a really super cool place. And the last time I went out there, they had this they have this kind of like, so we have cubes everywhere, but then there's this like open common area where people can just kind of hang out and talk. And I saw one of these chairs, and it had a bunch of like the grip testers on there.
Oh, yeah.
And the first couple I picked up were Captain of Crush testers.
Why do they have
one
those?
in the 1.5? I don't know. But they had them out
Determine
there.
if you can work here. Can you close this?
But then they had one of them, and one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I can do a 3."
No,
I
he
was
can't.
like,
No, he
"No."
can't.
And he picked it up, and like he barely got him to touch, and I was like,
That's not a 3.
"No." And so I picked it up and I pushed it, and I got it to touch, and I was like, "No way, man!" And so I looked at the bottom, and it said something you couldn't really see, but it wasn't a Captain of Crush one. And so I sent like the full set of Captain of Crush out, like brand new ones, and I said, "Don't open these till I get out there." And so the last time I went out there, and I was like, "All right, cool." So we opened them up, and I was like, "Test these out." And it was like they got to, I think some got the 1.5, but then we got to the 2, and it was like, and I couldn't get them a touch. And I'm like, okay, let me know when you get those to touch, because that's like the real shit. And they're like, do people really do this? And I pulled up some of those videos we looked at.
Did you do a 3?
I've got it real close way back in the day, like after a
Yeah.
deadlift, but I've closed the 2 like multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're close to the 3.
The 3 on a good day, I can get real close.
Yeah, because there was I don't remember
got
who
the
it was,
3?
but I just looked up like I don't know if I ever got 3.
I mean, if you're gonna do so, if anybody has never seen the Captains of Crush, Iron Mind had them for the longest time. You can get on Amazon now, but you can actually get certified in the 3 and the 4. And I think there might be a higher one now. But you have to open a brand new pack, and it comes with a little card. It looks like a credit card, and it has to be at least the narrow width of the credit card before you start. And then they turn it, and you have to close it and touch the card
Yeah, and like hold the card. Yeah.
and hold the card, and that's how they certify you.
Like you have to hold the card up.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
doesn't fall out.
Yeah.
Like when you
I don't know if
blizzard.
like how long you have to. Yeah.
But that was the one that I showed him. I was like, this is what you're supposed to do and stuff. And they're like, yo, who can do that? And I just Googled it, and there was, I don't know, some fat hand Russian guy who had the 3, and he was like, click, 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 click. And I was like, fuck.
There used to be a video of Jesse Morunde doing it back when Jesse Morunde was still alive.
Did you see that guy's dad that was here yesterday? The big farmer looking guy?
Yeah.
Man, him and I were talking.
You know, he grabs round bales just by hand and puts them on trucks.
Like he went to shake my hand. That's when you like if the guy if you see a guy in his 60s that looks like he's been a farmer his whole life, when you go to shake his hand, mean it,
Right.
Because or if you don't,
When he
he's
closes
going
his
to
fingers and like your fingertips don't touch, you're like, okay, dude.
yeah.
Jesus.
So he went to shake my hand. I'm like, okay, I gotta
Yeah.
go in here.
I never met my grandpa, my dad's dad. He died when I was really young, but he used to be able to break pliers. So he had a friend of his that when my grandpa would come over, he'd hide all of his pliers. Because he could just squeeze them and break the pliers.
Jesus.
And those
were old school pliers.
Yeah, those were old pliers.
It's not a freaking cobalt.
Yeah,
or
but yeah,
whatever.
he could break them, so he'd just hide all of his fucking pliers when he came over. But there used to be a video of Jesse Morunde was a strongman back in the day. He passed away. It's been like quite a few years now. And he's got a video of him closing the Captains of Crush #3. But the best part of the video is in the background, his kid is just like second knuckle deep in his nose, just picking his nose when he's doing it. But yeah, he just closed it for reps, and he would just like, he'd show the camera what it was, and he would just like fucking close them.
PR'd this Captain of Crush, and my son got second knuckle up his nose.
Yeah.
It's a proud dad moment.
Yeah.
Those
both
poor
winning.
kids back out east, like they had that one and they were all like, yeah, we can get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like when I was down at Al Meyer's place, we got that equipment, and he has that Thomas Inch,
Yeah.
which is the 173 pound, is it 2 1/4 handle or 2.5 inch handle on Thomas Inch. I was like, oh, I went to pick it up, and just like all the bones in your hand crack, like you didn't know the bones like in the middle of your hand could crack, and then it's like it
Did you
didn't
get
move. Oh no, fuck no, it didn't move. I mean, that's the full on, like the one we have is that 152.
It's a baby one.
Yeah, he has the full.
We've gotten that one.
Yeah, and then he has the trainer one. Al does.
I had to go grab Brett from the counter to have him come over. I was like, Brett, I got it.
I always asked Tanner if he's gonna send a video to his mom, so somebody will be proud of him.
Yeah. I was like, Brett, come here, I got it.
If he gets 3 more reps with it, Nicole's gonna let him drive her truck.
Let you get a ridgeline.
We're gonna start with this '83 Dodge Dakota, and then you can work your way up. I don't want to give you too much horsepower and towing power here. I'm not ready for this. What do you think the coolest event was, though?
Stones are always fun. Here's my thing about Stones. It's so fucking messy. Right? I love seeing them at events, but like the freaking tacky and it's just a disaster.
Fucking cheaters.
No, pick up a stone. Like,
One of your
but
biggest asshole things you can do is use tacky in a gym, and that's rude to people that don't want it in there.
right. Like if you are going to use tacky, and I understand, like make sure A, the gym knows.
Yeah.
And that B, you take your ass outside, get some freaking Gugon and WD-40 or whatever the fuck you need
We
to get
used
it
to
off.
have those like gorilla tacky pads.
They suck.
They
work for a little bit,
better
though.
than nothing though. Like if you're in a
If it's your own pad and they're fresh, they do a little bit
Yeah,
though.
they're not bad, but like when you go to pick up,
like it's definitely different than slathering yourself.
when you have
up.
that shit on you, and like you take your hands apart, it's just freaking like that's when you know you have it right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a mess. And most gyms, and
I actually did think probably the best, like your best overall strength yesterday, like the one event that probably showed you who the strongest one was the yoke carry, sandbag carry.
remember that one kid I was talking to? That kid was always in here slamming the yoke around like he was, and then he just got fucking wrecked by that yoke yesterday.
I mean, they did have 700 pounds, and 700 pounds is a legit weight.
But when you were training in the same place you're competing, and you can put, here's the trick. If the yoke is 700, I would train with 800 because you're going to be faster.
Yeah.
Unless you can't do 800.
Well, he obviously couldn't do 700 either.
Yeah. Well, have you guys ever yoked?
I'm pretty yoked. Matt's pretty yoked. Look at him.
Yeah.
I have gotten 1,000 pounds, like 30 feet.
Yeah, I just remember when was it Lou Frigno carrying that fridge on his back and his knee blew out the side of his leg carrying that, so that's why I'm not really super.
Yeah, a fridge is only like 500 pounds.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah, but he was probably sprinting with it.
Yeah, I've probably done in like the 400 to 600 pound range
Yeah.
a bunch of times. I don't know if I've really gone a lot heavier.
It is a soul crusher. I will tell you though, when they tell you like when you're deadlifting, you need to press through the floor.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, it's hard to get that feeling.
Yeah, try it with a yoke and you'll figure it out real fast.
Oh yeah, go put some heavy weight on a yoke, and you'll figure out how to press through a goddamn floor. And you'll also figure out that your stance, your wider stance, you don't get as much up force in.
Right.
Well, then you got to try to get your feet back together.
Yeah.
When it's heavy, your feet do not like to move with the adduction and abduction of your feet are very different under heavy weights.
That's one of the things I train is that when I see people like are a little bit wider, because they feel like they have a stronger base, and I understand you feel like you have more balance, you have a weaker base. Like you don't have as much up force coming, but then as soon as you go to step in and you narrow your stance, then you look like a baby horse trying to walk for the first time. And a yoke's already hard enough the way it is. Like you kind of look like
you don't need to have a bunch of side to side.
You kind of look like a drunk bastard anyways. So
yeah, I mean that's just like like picking a squat out of the rack.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a closer stance before you get set up, just because you have more power to get it out.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, and then picking up that freaking, was it 300-pound sandbag?
Yeah, it was a big sandbag.
That was
Yeah, it's a big sandbag. Like going back and forth that way, like that to me, that's probably your best overall test of strength yesterday.
I can see that. There's some athleticism plus some overall just brute strength to carry that.
Yep.
Pick that sandbag up.
And then carry it on you.
Yeah, because your breathing is minimal. What were you guys going, 50 feet? Was that you guys measured out?
40.
40.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you couldn't have had a better day. I mean, fuck, it was 60-some degrees yesterday.
Oh, it's perfect.
After it was like 30s last week. Yeah. I mean, you could have ran the whole thing outside, actually.
Probably.
I think next year you guys got to do like the power pole around the building.
You were to saying that. And I was like, that's
so terrible.
Yeah. I will tell you that if we were to do that, wherever they stop is where the next person starts.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah.
We're just going to measure.
The crowd's just going to have to
You
go.
have to walk because I'm not reloading that shit.
I remember we got like 2/3 of the way around the building, and that's when you can hear and you're breathing.
Yeah.
The wheeze starts to happen. But yeah, it was a good first run.
We're definitely going to have the Cohen's wheel the Cohen's wheel will have to be in there next.
Yeah, if we do. We're trying to get one to add it to the Ed Cohen Classic and do it maybe the next day. We've been talking with Ed about it.
The cool thing is that you have like so much good equipment here and a good space. And the strongman athletes and the powerlifting athletes at the Ed Cohen, like everyone here was super respectful. Like we walked through and there was like one 20-ounce water bottle and like 1 gallon of water left, and everything else looked like it was cleaned up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, it was like as we were going around picking up chairs and stuff. Like there was a couple bands left out, a couple things here and there, but it wasn't like
And that
a
one
shit
straight
hole like
chair.
you've seen it other ones.
That one chair.
Fucking
You got
one
everything
chair.
loaded up in the freaking trailer outside, locked it up with your 97 padlock to keep the meth heads out.
And then one straight chair.
And
in there.
then you
I was
looked
like,
over.
son of a
You and I were
bitch.
talking, and I just saw this look. I'm like, what?
It's right
And I
there,
look
actually.
over.
It's
I look
still
over.
here.
He's like, there's one fucking chair.
God damn it. And I was like, well, fuck it. It's going to
It's
my
closed.
I saw
Fuck
sadness go over your face.
Yeah.
I would have just thrown it away.
I'm very OCD about putting things away.
Yeah.
I know. That was like when you had the vertical weight stacks for the bumper plates out there. The best thing was to take like all the 35s off and put a 45 at the bottom and then stack them back up.
And then watch Brett undo the whole thing.
He'd come around, he'd be like, fuck.
Yeah, I thought,
So-
thought we were friends. Apparently not.
Well, we were.
So this place has actually got rid of some of my OCD because for a while here, I would go through and I would like in the big rack back by the deadlifts, like I would get them all to where they were the same plates all the way. So if you took one here, you could take one here and they'd match. And I'd do it like every fucking day. As I was deadlifting, I would clean it up. I'm
Was
like,
that something like your GPP training?
yeah. And I would like clean up, and the next day be fucked. And finally, I just quit carrying. Like fuck this. I'm gonna go put them back. Like sometimes I just put them back fucked up now, just because I want to fuck someone else's day up. Like I put all the ones on here and put all the different ones over there, so they're gonna.
I'm just going to walk in a store and just clear the shelves off and walk out.
I
Just fucking walk out.
you know that I come up to you probably on a daily basis.
He
Where
does.
does this weight go?
He does. He cleans up pretty well.
Yeah.
And most people do. And some people don't care. And I don't understand how some people can take weights from somewhere and then not know where they got them from.
Yeah, and they just put them back somewhere else. I'm like,
Oh, that's cool. I'll just put it right here. It's fine.
What's worse is when you took your weights off of somewhere and you go to put it back,
and there's a
there's
weight
already,
there?
Yeah, it's like
You know,
you're looking
some,
around
I
like,
found out,
which
where some of that
fucking
comes
idiot?
from is because people have to have their plates match. Which I understand. If they have a gray plate, they'll walk around and find another gray plate, and then it messes up the stack somewhere else.
I mean, I kind of like that on some things, but I just
It
do
doesn't
with,
matter.
But I just do it within the same
there's
rack.
like very few people here strong enough for that to
It's
matter.
called chaos training.
They're between 43 and 47.
That is true, though.
It is true. We weighed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a batch you bought somewhere where they had like the weights in chalk on there on the back, and you could tell. I'm like, yeah,
No,
they
that was
were.
me and Mick. We weighed all those.
Oh, you guys actually weighed
Yeah,
all those?
me and Mick Manley weighed like all of them one day to see what they were at. And
43 to 47.
yeah, mainly 44 was most of them. There's a couple of 43s, but it's because they're not. I mean, there's ported molds and there's
When I
air
got that-
pockets and all that other shit.
When I had that 445 in my bench bar, it's probably more like 450.
No, it
That's
wasn't.
probably why I did.
It's probably all grays. It's probably fucking 400. You know, the longest time I never thought that mattered until one day I was with Danny Thurman and he was benching. And he was talking about him being off and he was like, you know, it doesn't matter until you're benching, you know, and you have 5 plates on each side. Now all of a sudden that's a big dramatic difference.
It can be. That's the reason I don't care. Like I just want one of each. So like if I put a gray one over here, I just want a gray one over here. But if the next one's the dark one, if it's the round one with the circles, I don't really care. I just want them to match on the sides.
So you do care.
So the same number, not necessarily the same order.
Right.
Yeah, so you do care. I literally just put on whatever's there.
Yeah. That's what men do, or people
Yeah.
who compete in the open.
Yeah.
Oh, Brett, when was the last time? When was the last time either one of you guys competed?
I competed after 2000.
After Y2K?
Yeah, last time Matt competed, he had a ride back from South Dakota in the back of my truck with his leg up on the seat.
Yeah, because I had a torn hamstring. That was terrible. That was
Yeah.
unpleasant.
Yeah.
I just have, if I compete, I just have to know that something's going to tear. And I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah, but no, I don't think I've ever done a Masters, though.
How old are you?
40.
Yeah, you just turned 40.
41.
Yeah.
Are you 41?
Yeah.
The ginger kind of throws me off. It's hard to tell how old you
Yeah,
are.
I'll be 42 in March. But yeah,
You guys are kind of like
I've
vampires.
never competed anything but the Open.
Well, I hadn't until I turned 40, and then I did.
He's like, I want my trophy.
Yeah, you can just go to Regal Awards and buy the trophy if you want to. Probably about the same price.
Probably cheaper.
Yeah. For all
Don't have
you
to
guys
fucking
that-
travel. Don't have to fly
For
anywhere.
all you guys that enter multiple divisions in a powerlifting meet, just go fucking buy the trophy. It's cheaper.
I was going to say, of all the people in the world that I want to just punch in the face are the people that enter into
They're
every
like
event.
Open, Masters, fucking
bench only, push pull.
Yeah, all that shit. I'm like, dude,
Total
just
power.
go buy the fucking trophy because you're paying like usually $50 to $75 per additional division. Trophies ain't that expensive.
Do they have to lift in each division, or do they just lift
They should
one?
have to lift multiple times.
You
That's
should
what
have
you should
to do
do
it, but like, no,
oh, you're
like
in 3
if you
divisions,
do-
you have to squat 3 times.
Yeah.
But no, if you do, like, if you wanted to do bench only, push pull, and full power, you will just bench, squat, deadlift. Like, you'll just do your 3 normal lifts, but then they'll just count them.
It works if
So
you,
they just spend $150 to get trophies.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You can go to fucking Regal Awards and get trophies.
I'd buy way cooler trophies than that.
I don't even give trophies. They don't even get that.
Yeah.
We just
Huh.
give money what people want.
Fair.
And your prize money here for the Cohen Classic is more than anywhere else that I've ever seen in this area, anyways.
Yeah, we do $5
Yeah.
grand in prize money,
Yeah, it's not even close.
which we got May 11th. It's gonna be the next one. Signups will be whatever that first thing Monday in January. We'll open the signups on Lifting Cast.
And they'll be closed by the 4th of January.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
our fastest we sold it out in like what 23 hours was over the first one we sold out 60 lifters.
Yep.
So that's a great meet though.
It is, and it's super fun. And for people who, I hope people aren't like scared about it if they know who Ed is and like, oh my god, it's Ed. Like, it's one of the coolest, best entry level competitions to come in and do. Like, yeah, there's some really fucking good lifters there, but
Well,
you
I
also have
wouldn't
an
say it's entry. I
opportunity
think
to
it could be
learn.
everybody. You could be your first, or you could be
Right, yeah.
or it could be Dan Bell. You know what I mean? Could be here,
Right.
and everybody's
But
gonna have a good time, and everybody's
Yeah.
gonna.
But like the strongman stuff, like I heard yesterday, you were giving some people advice. Other lifters, other competitors were giving other people advice. The same thing happens in the powerlifting meet. Like when you go to good events, like people are going to help you out because they really like the sport. They want you to like the sport, and they want you to keep competing, and they want you to do great. And so like you'll get advice. So if you go to an event like Ed Cohen, like there's going to be a bunch of really good lifters there, and they'll help you. Like you can learn a fucking shit ton.
Well, there's a lot of people there that aren't lifting that are still really good, and they're going to help. Like everyone's super helpful.
Everyone's going to help you out.
And Ed's here.
Yeah.
Ed's the head judge, and he will give you pointers when you walk up to lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll just look into your
So-
soul and tell you what you need to know.
I was at Nationals 2 or 3 years ago, and Travis Best was my judge.
Nick
Best.
Nick
Sorry,
Best.
Nick Best. I don't even know what to think.
I was like,
Nick,
Travis.
Yeah, Nick Best was. I think I got 2 people. I got like 2 days combined. Nick Best was my judge, and coming to the sandbag, I had it set up. He goes, Why do you have it set up like that? I said, I don't know.
Oh, I'm stupid.
That's his way. He goes, why don't you set it up, and then when you come up there, just flip it over onto your hand, and then grab the other side, and you'll be faster. I'm like, all right, fucking did it. Fucking, I was like, oh, that worked way better. But like during competition, like he was doing it. The one thing that did piss me off though is that so you have Nick Best there, who's been doing strongman forever, right?
Yeah.
And he's good. I mean, he still competes. And by the way, he competes at Masters, 50 and above now.
But he's also proved his point.
I proved my point. I needed to be 40 to be good.
I didn't need to get better. I needed my competition to come down.
I just needed to be 40. But some guy was fucking arguing with him about something. And I'm like, I don't care if you disagree. Like, if Ed were to come up to me and say something, or to anybody, right, and to give you, and let's just say you happen to disagree with it or whatever, you know what? You know your best advice is shut the fuck up, say thank you, and then think about it and make sure you actually disagree with it. Don't fucking argue with a fucking legend in front of you. You know he's taking because afterwards, you know how much Nick talked to that guy again? Zero.
Never.
And, you know, and the other end of that, I 100% agree with that. The other end is also not every. You don't have to be a legend to be knowledgeable in a sport. Also, don't forget that. Like, there's some people who've been around and studied the game and know their things. And, you know, like everybody loves Dave Tate, and I like Dave a lot. He's a good dude. Dave was never like the greatest lifter in the world. He was a good lifter. Yeah. He wasn't like the best in the world, but Dave's knowledge is crazy.
Well, there's a lot of times when it comes to strongman and you haven't done strongman, I come out and ask you, like, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I've just been around. I've seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been able to talk to like Dave and Ed and people like that to learn from.
Yeah. And actually, I can't remember what happened, who it was yesterday, but someone who was just like, oh, no, it was Kyle. Kyle doesn't do strongman. Kyle is obnoxiously good at the Conan's wheel. Like, I don't know where, I don't know why, right? I don't know. But so him and I are doing it, and I'm like I heard, like, it got in my bicep, and like my bicep felt like it was gonna freaking pop off. And he's like, no, I don't do it this way. And he just like comes over and does. I'm like, oh, that's a way smarter way. Instead of digging my arms all the way underneath there, he basically just rested across his forearms. I'm like, oh, that's way smarter.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people are naturally good at something, they put in more work to get good at it. So they can probably give you. Sometimes actually people who are really good and like world champions don't have a lot of knowledge on how they got there.
So that's
they're just like super good.
Right.
So, but like for most men who are benching, I say if you want to follow anybody, like don't follow I mean, if you want to follow Magnus and see someone hit 800 pounds, or that freaking Iranian guy, you know, that hit like 805. Did you see him on a bench? Fucking 805
I just know
pause.
Julius Maddox.
Yeah, there's a lot of those guys that are in that range. They're going to have a real hard time telling you how to bench. They're fucking big. Like, you want to bench 800 pounds, weigh 500 pounds. That's going to be their advice. Now, Jen Thompson, like, she will break down. Like, if you want to learn how to bench, fucking follow her. Like, she will give you advice. And you have a woman who weighs 146, benching 320 something.
Yeah.
Like, that's someone who had to put work in. That's someone who had to figure it out. She's obviously a freak, but she's also 49 years old.
Yeah. See what they did. And, you know, take, like I said, we've talked about before.
She
Take
still
advice.
competes open, though.
Yeah. And her husband, Mr. Jen Thompson. Her husband.
Mr. Jen Thompson. I bet you he doesn't drive a truck.
Yeah, she might let him. She might let him drive hers. But yeah, I mean, you could just kind of.
He's got a Camry.
It's kind of that common denominator thing, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of see what they've all done, and you'll find some commonalities in all of them.
And the main thing is just shut up and listen. It's all right. Like, you don't have to be right at everything. Like, I am not. You'll never have me claim that I'm a technician at anything when it comes to lifting. I'm not. I need help. Like, I try and do it. I try and get stronger at it. Like, my deadlift, I had a pretty solid deadlift. It was basically an RDL because I didn't understand leg drive. And then like Lupe is like, you know, you could just do this. I'm like, oh, that's way easier. You know,
Watch
like,
how strong my ligaments are.
yeah. I was like, oh, so you don't just have to hinge at your back and stand up with it?
Yeah, I mean, you can learn from all kinds of different people.
Yeah.
But just because somebody has advice doesn't mean they're right.
No, but I think most people should just be quiet and listen.
Yeah.
And then like think about it before just
Right. And it costs you nothing to listen. Like even if you're listening to someone spout out something that's total trash, you know it's trash. All you gotta do is like, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
You can just walk away.
Yeah.
And if it's useful, keep it. If not, it didn't
yeah.
cost you anything.
You guys have helped. I mean, I see people in here help lifters out all the time.
Yeah, well, nobody wants to have a bunch of shitty lifters. in the
No.
gym. Yeah, it's all about, what's that Dave Tate's live, learn, and pass on. I mean, if you learned a lot of cool things, spread
Yeah.
the wealth.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think the event went good. The barbecue went good.
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot from a lot of people.
Exactly.
And if you need any supplements, go to elitenutritionomaha.com, B3.
If you need a gym, the real Midwest Mecca.
Yeah, the Omaha Barbell.
And if you need a mat,
If you need like a drinking buddy,
Matt.
Matt.
They got you, man. They got you.
Yeah, just go to Ponca. You'll find Matt somewhere.
Yeah. Just hang out at the store and wait. It's like those RPGs where you just got to wait for somewhere for someone to come by. Like you just hang out at the store. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah.
So other than that, we appreciate you guys listening. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you guys next time.